your girl.
What is up, you guys? It's your girl Ashley Janae, and I'm back with another video with my guest.
So, deal, y'all, you know what it is.
Alright, today we're going to be talking about how you have to watch the advice that you get from everybody, because everybody does not have the best intentions when they are giving you advice. Not everybody giving you advice is coming from a good and genuine place. Okay? Without further ado, we're going to jump straight into this topic. So the first thing that came to me when I was pretty much thinking and reflecting on this topic, taking my little notes, are monitoring spirits. I feel like it's very important because it's a really good concept and it's something that will help us to understand where I'm coming from throughout this video. For those that may not know about monitoring spirits, in my opinion, a monitoring spirit is someone that just sits and kind of watches in the background, and they may ask questions and things like that. They always make sure to stay up to date with what's going on in your life while you kind of just don't have any info really on them, okay? And they can disguise themselves very well. Anyways, we're gonna jump straight into this point. So some people in your life are only given advice through their own lens of jealousy, through their own lens of insecurity, through their own lens of limitations. Maybe something happened to them or something didn't go the way that they expected, and so now their advice to you is kind of tailored toward that. You know, maybe they failed in something. Maybe a relationship didn't work out. Maybe they tried to jump and take a certain risk and that didn't work out. So that's kind of what they're swaying you and pushing on you. Okay? Which is definitely something that, depending, really shouldn't be done. Okay? And I think that sometimes people can also not always have the bad intentions for you when it comes to giving you advice, but sometimes people can only give you advice based on the level that they're on, okay? And sometimes we're not on the exact same level as everybody else that we're around. We're just not. You know, some people vibrate higher, some people vibrate lower, but we're still connected and it's all love. So definitely be mindful of it, even in that sense, okay? Just be careful who you're taking advice from and make sure that they've had some type of experience or some type of knowledge in an area that you would like to go, okay? Very, 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 very important. Do you have anything to add before I continue?
No, go ahead, continue.
All right. So, I do want to say this one thing as well. This is something to be very careful of in friendships, okay? Even family relationships. I think that sometimes, a lot of times, people benefit from you playing small, and this happened to me a lot before I actually grew and got to know myself, which is very important. I think that oftentimes when you rely on people too much and people can tell you need that validation, the wrong person can play with that, and their advice can be tailored towards playing with you and throwing you off track and messing with you, messing you up. So you have to be very, 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 very mindful. And some people only want to see you do good, but just not any better than them, okay? And you know those type of people when everything kind of has to be a comparison. Or you notice, okay, they're not in a happy connection, but the minute I'm out here trying to find people, their advice is quick to kind of shut it down, or quick to kind of be like, well, make sure this, and that, or they're always looking for things to pick apart so that you can go back down to that same level that they're on, okay? So it's very, 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 very important, okay? I would say some signs, most definitely, of the monitoring spirit. Like I said, definitely those friends or those people in your corner that always try to nitpick at something, and when you look at their life, whatever they're nitpicking at for you is not even together in their own life, okay? Or maybe something's together in their own life, but they're trying to knock you down from getting on their level because they're intimidated like a weirdo, because everybody in your corner should want you to do better. I would say when people are fishing heavy for information, nobody should be fishing for information and really trying to dig so deep into your life. If one, you're not volunteering information, mind your business. And number two, if you're not volunteering the information, they should not feel so entitled to know and want updates. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you're talking to a person and you're sharing what you're comfortable with. It has nothing to do with something else, and then they are bringing that up in an interrogating way. No, but we're not doing that. That's a monitoring spirit, and that's someone that's just looking to see where your mindset is at with that information and kind of sprinkle in some advice to kind of throw you off or see where you're headed. So definitely don't. And another thing too, when someone is very gossip driven, gossip dominant, you definitely don't want to be getting advice from someone like that, because there's someone that likes to add a little fuel to the flame with the advice because they like drama and they want to see the drama continue. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it'd be the people who be trying to give advice, but they don't even take their own advice.
Yes.
Like, how you gonna tell me to do something and take this advice, but don't even take your own advice? I know you might have learned that advice from some type of personal experience, but don't be a hypocrite. Don't be, it looks kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I like taking advice from people who are doing what they're telling you to do. And also, don't let people feel like they could just give you advice, because then they're going to be like, oh, I'm the one who told you to do that.
Oh,
now
yes.
They have power over you, feel me? So don't take advice from everybody. Sometimes you got to say, hold on. Kind of like shut them up before they get a chance to even continue thinking that they're teaching you something. Because if they think that they taught you, now they're going to feel like they have power over you. And then all of a sudden, you feel me? Like, oh, I taught them that. You didn't teach me that. I learned this myself.
Or even if you did, definitely don't throw that in people's faces, because the whole point in life is that we're all learning. No one has the answers. The most wise person on this planet doesn't have all of the answers, and they are still learning. Whether you're learning from a person or whatever you're learning from a book, you're still learning something, period, point blank, or else you wouldn't be here, because that's the whole purpose. We're always growing. We're always looking to grow and to accelerate ourselves. But I would definitely say, even if someone gives you good advice and it helps you, but then later they're like, see, you listen to me and that's why. First of all, boo, bye. Because if you didn't tell me, someone else would have, or I would have learned it myself, okay? Yeah. But even if you did, you're not a good person, because why are you trying to get credibility for me getting on the right path? It's different if I'm doing something and I'm acting like I'm the one that got let there and I'm getting big cocky and kind of just, then I could see that. But even then, that's similar to throwing something in somebody's face that you did from the heart. And you should never do that. You should want the best for people. And when you do something like that, like he said, you're showing people that it never came from a genuine heart. And I'm going to start thinking you're living vicariously through me, because you make dumbass decisions, because you would be on this same level too. So you're down there, you gave me advice, but you feel like you're up and you want some credibility while you're still there. Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't like it. So I think just always being mindful of subconscious envy. Sometimes envy, sometimes jealousy, sometimes, insecurity in other people can hide very well, especially in those people that we are close to. And you always have to be mindful, and you always have to be careful, and you always have to consider all angles, okay? I think that it should always be a trusted individual that you go to, but even then, make sure that trusted person, like he mentioned, is in an area that you would like to kind of get to and things like that, okay? So that's definitely important. And I also think, just being mindful, like I said, once again, of just the people that want to dig for no reason. If you have no reason to be digging into some tea that I haven't opened up about myself, then I won't trust where that's coming from, because nosiness can open many other doors to different things. And that's not what you want. You know what I'm saying? And before we close this out, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
I think we covered everything. But, just like I said, just be aware of everything in taking advice, because sometimes people might be giving you advice because they have, bad intentions. Like, said they might want to throw it in your face.
So, another thing too that just came to me before I end this as well is sometimes be careful as well. And I'm sure you can relate to this. Sometimes there are friends that may know how to do something, how to get something done. They know the answer to something, or they have experience that they can help guide you with, but they'll act like, oh, I don't know. Oh, just blah, 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 blah. I just winged it, or blah, 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 blah. Be careful of those people, because once again, that's someone that's scared that, okay, if I give you the keys, if I give you the gym, like we kind of discussed a little bit a couple minutes ago, they're scared that you're going to get on their level and probably surpass them. But really, in reality, you don't want to even have people like that around you in the first place. So this is a great self-awareness tactic and tool to use when you want to see who's the right person to have in your corner regardless. But anyways, this was such a great topic. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below, or suggest other topics that you would like for me to cover down below as well. And until next time. Mwah.
All right.